Hello, microgreen thumbs. I have some exciting news to share with you today. So let me just go ahead and share it with you. I think it's better when I show this because it is just super exciting. Okay, let me go here. Guess what? My book, Let's Get Growing, is published. It just got published today. So if you see in here, it's already September 14th of 2024, and it's called Let's Get Growing, a teen guide to business success. So this is a story about how being an entrepreneur has shaped my life and the lessons that I've learned from being able to empower all of you for 4 years to grow your own nutrient dense, delicious, and economical food. And it's just been such an amazing journey. And I'm so honored that I've been able to be a part of this. And so I decided throughout this whole time, there were so many incredible lessons that I believe everyone should know in their life. So I created this book to share them with you. And if you look on the back, another really cool thing is Forbes Riley, queen of the pitch and creator of Pitch Like a Pro, gave me a review. And how did that happen? That is so incredible. I am so fortunate that I have so many people like this that I've met from doing so many incredible things with being able to empower people. And so life doesn't come with a manual, but it does come with opportunities, even in the most unexpected places. This book isn't just about success. It's about learning how to turn life's curveballs into stepping stones. Whether you're a teen entrepreneur ready to start your own venture or someone seeking a fresh perspective, this book offers practical insights and actionable steps to help you navigate life's highs and lows. With a conversational, down-to-earth style, Let's Get Growing reminds us that with the right mindset, every challenge holds a seed of opportunity. So one of my favorite stories in this, and it's in the very beginning, and I'll give you a little hint of what this book is going to be like, is a story from when I was 4 years old. So when I was four, we were walking into Beals when all of a sudden I just had this idea come over me. And I look down, I see this rock, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pick this rock up, and I had a plan. So I walk over to this complete random stranger, and I just hold out my hand and I say, would you like to buy a rock? And he just looked at me like, why would I want to buy a rock? I was like, but he didn't say that. He said, how much is your rock? And I said, $1. So I said, okay. So he handed me the dollar and I went to hand him the rock. And he said, no, you keep that and sell that to the next person you see. And so that is the best business model. You don't even have to give up your inventory. It was so great. I was hooked from entrepreneurship ever since then. Meanwhile, my mom was over there like, what do I do with this? Like, I don't know whether to be proud or whether to like talk about supply and demand, because this definitely was not a big demand. And so later on, we had a conversation about supply and demand. And 2 months later, I found my next venture. I decided as I was catching daddy long legs, which are these tiny little spiders with the long, long legs, that that would be a good thing to sell. So I walk over to my neighbor and I say, would you like to buy some daddy long legs? And he just flat out said no. Like there was no discussion, no convincing him, just no. And so I learned very quickly that was not the demand I was expecting it to be. What I did not tell my parents until about 5 years later was what I did with those unsold daddy long legs. In a fit of entrepreneurial rage, I ended up putting them in his mailbox. And I feel so bad for the mailman that came by who probably opened the mailbox and all these daddy long legs came out. And so there's different stories in this book that will teach you incredible lessons. Like, for example, with this one, it was about being able to keep that dream that you had as a kid alive. For me, I've always wanted to be an entrepreneur. For someone else, oh, I'm recording. For someone else, it might be something different, like um, collecting baseball cards, or maybe it's watching cartoons. And the cool thing is, even with those hobbies, you can create them into businesses. You can make them a real big part of your life. And even if it isn't how you make money, being able to have that connection to your child self, to be able to have that connection will further fuel you in whatever you end up doing. And so to be able to learn these lessons, I've had to learn them through trial and error and many, many mistakes. And I'm happy I'm going to be able to give these to you in a easier method than I have learned. And so I would love to know what you think about this book. And if you would leave me a review, I would absolutely love that because every review makes a huge difference in people being able to find a book like this because it is so important to be able to learn the concepts that you learn as an entrepreneur. And whether you're an entrepreneur or someone who's on their way to doing something else, those lessons carry over. The perseverance and the knowledge that you need and whatever you end up doing is so important. And especially for teen entrepreneurs, to be able to have a book that talks about the steps you need to take to be able to become an entrepreneur, and especially that mindset, is what I'm so excited I'm going to be able to share with everyone. So I am super excited and I look forward to hearing what you have to say. So now let's get back to the secrets of microgreens, which is what this one is about. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again and share with you the secrets of microgreens. One of my favorite things is being able to teach people how to grow their own nutrient dense, delicious, and economically friendly food. And so the way that I like to do that is through this educational 10-part series that I have created. And with it, there's all sorts of knowledge and all sorts of information that you could learn. And I know that you're going to love it. So let me go ahead and share my screen. And real quick before I do this, if you text microgreens to 26786, microgreens to 26786, you will get a free 10-part series on microgreens, as well as all sorts of information. And I will send you out a link to my book so that you can be one of the first people who gets it. And so microgreens to 26786 will get you a free 10-part series. And this is with my 12 years of microgreen growing experience. I've been growing microgreens. I know all the trials, all the errors, all the reasons why you want to start growing microgreens. And I've compiled this into a free 10-part series for you. So it's definitely super important. And I highly recommend taking a look at it. So now let's go ahead and share the screen. Okay. So now, forgot I didn't. Okay. Here it is. And another cool thing that I just want to add in here, recently Dr. Berg talked about microgreens and sulforaphanes. So sulforaphanes are a phytonutrient that has been seen to cause cancer cells to autophagize, which means that it gets rid of those cancer cells. And there have been many studies showing this on sulforaphanes. So microgreens have microgreens compared to mature vegetables have 10 to 100 times more sulforaphanes. Not 10 to 100%, 10 to 100 times more sulforaphanes than your mature vegetables. So that is super important to know because microgreens are so healthy. It is incredible. Oh my goodness. I haven't been sharing the right tab, have I? Let me see. Oh no, I am so sorry, y'all. I did not realize. Okay, let me go ahead and oh my goodness. I thought something was off. Let's see. Okay, this should be it. There we go. Hello, and welcome to the first video in our 10-part series. This one is, what are microgreens and why are they better than veggies? Stick till the end to find out. Today, we're here in the Valley of Fire. Hello, I'm Connor with Amelia Island Microgreens, and I'm excited to be the go-to place for growing your own microgreens. In just a moment, I will share with you a secret tip that'll change the way you think about microgreens forever. First of all, what are microgreens? Well, that's a great question. Microgreens are the stage right after sprouts. The reason why microgreens have gained such a popularity recently is because they're the most nutrient-dense stage in the life cycle of a plant. So think of a head of broccoli versus broccoli microgreens. Your broccoli microgreens are going to be 40% more nutrient dense. That's really great when you're looking at eating healthier because all that nutrition is packed into those microgreens. And if you thought that was great, wait until you hear this. Microgreens can be harvested in 7 days. That means it just takes 1 week to get your fresh microgreens. No having to go to the store and buying overpriced microgreens anymore. You can just grow them yourself and save so much money. Not only are microgreens nutritious and easy to grow, they are also delicious. I love putting them on just about anything I'm eating, from eggs, salads, sandwiches. I love putting them in smoothies because you can hide them there. So if you're not a veggie fan, adding them to like a chocolate smoothie is great. And I have a couple of videos coming up that will talk about recipes for microgreens, so be sure to stay tuned for those. So you have all sorts of microgreens. Your more mellow ones would be like your broccolis, your kales. Believe it or not, kale is actually a really delicious microgreen. It's not bitter and hard to chew. Oriental mustard is amazing. It's the cousin to wasabi. It's great when you add it to a meal because it has a nice dimension of flavor to it. And then you have peas, which are like going out into the garden and eating a fresh pea. It's nice and crunchy. It's delicious. Here are the 5 microgreens that are great for beginners. The first one is broccoli. Broccoli is excellent because it has a bunch of health benefits, and it's one that a lot of microgreen growers go to because of that. Broccoli has a thing called sulforaphanes, which can aid in cancer prevention. And I don't know about you, but that's pretty excellent. Another great one is Oriental mustard. It's the cousin to wasabi, so it's nice and spicy. I love that one on tacos or eggs because it adds a bright, flavorful dimension to your meals. And it's a little less spicy when you add it to something. I'm not a spicy person, so that's great for me. Oriental mustard is high in antioxidants, which is really great for your immune system. It also helps bring your energy up, so you don't need that cup of coffee you've been trying to get rid of. Then brown mustard. Brown mustard is great because it's not as spicy as Oriental mustard. It has the sulforaphanes, and it's also super easy to grow. Another really good one is salad mix. It has a nice variety of seeds, from cabbage to collards to arugula, and it's a great mix to add into your salads. And here's a little secret. You don't have to add it to just your salads. You can add it to your soups, your sandwiches, smoothies, really anything you're eating. I've even added it to pizza and macaroni and cheese because that makes it healthy, right? And then the last one would be turnip. Turnip's super easy, and it's like going outside and getting a fresh turnip, except not as crunchy and hard to chew. It's super easy to eat, and I love it. It's a little spicy, and so it's a nice mix of spicy but not overly spicy. So those are the 5 that are the easiest to grow. We put all of those microgreens in our microgreen kits because they're so easy, nutritious, and they're packed with flavor. So it's fun, and it's a wide variety of microgreen. If you're enjoying this video so far, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button and get ready for more microgreen tips. And make sure to turn on notifications so you see when my next video comes out. And now let's get back to some cool microgreen facts. When you're considering the idea of starting to grow your microgreens, here's a few things you want to consider. The first thing is you want a 2-tier tray, so that you can lift the microgreens up, put water underneath, and then put that back down. That way you're not pouring your water on top of your microgreens, and causing mold, especially when you're in a place like Florida, not so much in a place like Nevada where it's more dry. In a humid place, mold is a real big issue. And so having that 2-tier tray eliminates almost all of that mold. The second thing you're going to want to consider is what grow medium you want to grow with. I suggest coco coir or jute mat, depending upon which one works best for you. In our older kits, we'd give you both of those to see which one you like the best. However, in our newer ones, we just decided to make it easy and give coco coir because it's a sterilized grow medium, which means you don't have eruptions of bugs, which is excellent. The third thing you want to consider is the seed quality. You do not want seeds that have any kind of pathogens like E. coli or salmonella. If it's in the seed while you're growing your microgreens, you're just incubating it. And that's why people were having E. coli scares with sprouting, is because they were getting bad quality seeds. So make sure your seeds are pathogen tested. And the fourth one is water quality. You want to make sure that you have good quality water that's not just right out of the faucet, ideally filtered and in the middle of the pH scale. So not too alkaline, not too acidic. Okay, so now for that secret tip. Microgreens can be grown indoors. Actually, it's best to grow them indoors because that way it's in a controlled environment. And with the cooler temperatures indoors, you have a smaller risk of mold. So it's excellent indoors and you can grow it year round, which means in winter you can grow your microgreens, summer you can grow your microgreens, autumn you can grow your microgreens, any time of year you can grow your microgreens. And microgreens are really eco-friendly because there's less waste. When you have your microgreens and you're eating them as they're growing, they're not degrading and getting bad as quickly as microgreens you've purchased that are pre-cut, as well as the produce you purchase from the store that's already been harvested and shipped over. Speaking of shipping, when you ship your vegetables, that takes gas. Now, remember that secret tip I mentioned? It's coming up in just a moment. Now I want to hear from you. What's been your biggest takeaway? What have been some of your aha moments throughout this video? Please let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you, and I check every one of my comments. Okay, so are you ready for that secret tip? The secret tip is that microgreens are more nutrient dense than your mature veggies. That's right, broccoli microgreens are more nutrient dense than a head of broccoli. In fact, they're 40% more nutrient dense than your mature plant. So just take your over-the-counter multivitamin and just throw that away. You won't need it anymore. Let food be thy medicine. And that's not all. In just a moment, I'll show you how to up-level your microgreen game and make them even more irresistible. So for those of you who aren't in the know, this is part of a 10-part series completely free for you because I want to make sure you have the best growing and know the benefits of eating your vegetables live and at the microgreen stage. So head over to Amelia Island Microgreens.com/101 for a free 10-part series on how to grow your vegetables, how to harvest them, how to do everything you need to enjoy your microgreens right at home. Okay, so what is this bonus tip I've been talking about? The bonus tip is all about eating your microgreens. In this next video, I'll be showing you why you want to eat microgreens and the amazing benefits of them. So be sure to click the next video and I'll see you there. As always, stay awesome. So now if you want to start watching this 10-part series, be sure to go to text microgreens to 26786. So simply take out your phone and text microgreens to 26786. And there you will get that free 10-part series, be able to watch the next videos, as well as some incredible benefits. Like there's some bonuses that I haven't shared with you on this that you'll get, like some PDFs on things you want to know. So now let's go to another video that I think is really cool. Let's see this one. Did you know that there is a superfood that is not only delicious, it can also I have to share my screen, don't I? I'll get used to this eventually. Did you know that there is a superfood that is not only delicious, it can also transform your health too? There's this tiny little plant that's been taking the world by storm. You might have heard of them. They've become really popular. And you might be wondering why that is. Why are microgreens so popular? They're just tiny little vegetables. What good does that do? Well, I had those same questions, and that's why I'm going to share with you the reasons why microgreens are so popular right now. Stay tuned to the very end because I will reveal a secret tip on why microgreens are so impactful. Hey there, microgreen thumbs. I'm Connor Hiebel, and we're all about growing health one little green at a time. You know, when I was 7, I faced a lot of health challenges that my doctors couldn't figure out. They tested me for cancers, MS, pandas, and so many other things, and they could not figure out what it was. But there was one thing that we could figure out, and that is that microgreens play a huge role in my recovery. Today, I'm here to share with you how these tiny powerhouses can transform your health too. So if you're health conscious and you're looking for an easy, natural way to boost your well-being, you are in the right place. So let's get started. Today, we're diving into the amazing world of microgreens. So what exactly are microgreens? Imagine this. You take a seed, any seed, broccoli, sunflower, radish, you name it. You plant it, water it, and let it sprout. But instead of waiting for it to grow into a big plant, you harvest it when it's just a few inches tall. That, my friends, is a microgreen. They're like the teenagers of the plant world, bursting with youthful energy and potential. And just like teenagers, they pack a surprising punch, a nutritional punch that is. Microgreens aren't just baby versions of their mature counterparts. They're bursting with concentrated vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, making them one of the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet. Now, let's talk numbers. Research shows that microgreens can have up to 40 times the nutrient content of mature vegetables. That's right, 40 times. Think about it. You'd have to eat a whole bowl of spinach to get the same nutritional benefits as a handful of microgreens. But it's not just about the quantity of nutrients, it's about the quality too. Microgreens are packed with enzymes, chlorophyll, and other beneficial compounds that are often lost as plants mature. These nutrients are essential for boosting your immune system, improving digestion, and supporting overall health and well-being. And here's the kicker. Because they're so nutrient-dense, a little goes a long way. One of the biggest myths about microgreens is that you need a green thumb to grow them. Let me tell you, that's absolutely not true. In fact, microgreens are one of the easiest and most rewarding things you can grow, even if you've never gardened a day in your life. They don't need a lot of space, and they grow incredibly fast. You can literally grow them on a sunny windowsill, a countertop, or even under a grow light if you don't have a lot of natural light. No fancy tools, no complicated setups, just a simple tray, some soil, water, and a sprinkle of sunshine. It's that easy. And the best part? You'll have fresh, nutritious microgreens ready to harvest in just a matter of days. It's instant gratification gardening at its finest. Okay, we've talked about how nutrient-packed microgreens are, but let's get specific. What are these tiny greens actually doing for your body? Well, get ready to be amazed. Microgreens are like little immunity warriors, loaded with vitamins C, A, and E, all powerful antioxidants that help fight off those nasty free radicals that can cause damage to your cells. They're also packed with essential minerals like iron, potassium, and zinc, which play crucial roles in everything from energy production to immune function, but it doesn't stop there. Microgreens are also a great source of fiber, which is essential for a healthy gut. Fiber helps keep things moving smoothly, if you know what I mean, and it also feeds the good bacteria in your gut, which are crucial for digestion and overall health. Now, let's talk about one particular nutrient found in microgreens that has scientists super excited: sulforaphane. You'll find this powerhouse nutrient in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cauliflower, and kale. But here's the thing. Microgreens, especially broccoli, microgreens, contain significantly higher levels of sulforaphane than their mature counterparts, approximately 10 to 100 times more sulforaphanes. Why is this a big deal? Well, studies have shown that sulforaphane has some
pretty incredible health benefits. It's a potent antioxidant with anti-inflammatory properties, and it's even being studied for its potential to protect against certain types of cancer. Think of sulforaphane as a superhero shield, protecting your cells from damage and keeping your body running smoothly. And the best way to get a concentrated dose of this superhero nutrient, you guessed it, microgreens. Have you ever wondered why microgreens are so much more nutrient dense than mature vegetables? It all comes down to their life cycle. To put it simply, when a seed sprouts, it pours all its energy. These are like little nutrient factories working overtime to produce everything the plant needs to grow. That's why microgreens are bursting with vitamins, minerals, and enzymes. They're packed with the concentrated goodness of a plant in its prime. As the plant matures, it spreads its nutrients out over a larger surface area: stems, leaves, flowers, and eventually fruits or vegetables. So while mature vegetables are still nutritious, they're not quite as concentrated as their microgreen counterparts. It's like the difference between a shot of espresso and a cup of coffee. Both give you a caffeine boost, but the espresso is a more concentrated dose.
So let's talk transformation. You see, when I was younger, microgreens weren't just a health fad. They were a lifeline. When I was 7 years old, I faced some really serious health challenges. My doctors looked at everything, most of the time coming up with nothing. So they called it Connor's disease, which they didn't have a protocol for. So I created my own. Instead of looking for a quick fix through medication, I focused on healing my gut and letting food be thy medicine by improving my well-being through diet. As a part of my new regimen, I started eating these tiny greens every day. At first, it was just a small change, but over time, the impact was incredible. I started to feel more energetic. My body started to heal. My gut symptoms that were really bogging me down started to turn around, and I was feeling a lot better. I did a thermography scan, which shows the inflammation in my body. When I first started the diet, I was lit up so red with inflammation. The doctors had never seen anyone with so much inflammation as I had. And by the end of this diet, I looked like a completely different person. They were shocked at the difference. I began to finally be able to do the things I loved again, like running and playing, just being a kid. It felt like a huge fog had been lifted. These greens, with their high nutrient density, were a key part in my recovery. They gave me the boost of nutrition I needed to help my body from the inside out. Now, I want you to imagine what this could mean for you. Imagine feeling more energized, healthier, and vibrant every day just by adding these little powerhouses into your meal. Whether you're dealing with health challenges or looking to improve your diet, microgreens can make a real big difference. They're not just a garnish, they are a game changer. And if they could help me, then I know they can do the same for you. Ready to start growing your microgreens? That's awesome. Let me give you a few tips on how to get started.
All right, ready to get your hands dirty? Growing microgreens at home is easier than you think, and you don't need a fancy setup to get started. Here's what you'll need. Trays. I highly suggest getting a 2-tier tray for your microgreens. This will significantly reduce mold. Growing medium. You can use all sorts of grow medium. To take a deep dive, check out my video called Why Your Microgreens Aren't Thriving. Uncover the best mediums at home. To keep it simple, coco coir. It's a sterilized coconut husk, which means no bugs. Seeds. Opt for high-quality, organic, non-GMO seeds, specifically labeled for microgreen production. Most importantly, make sure your seeds are pathogen tested. Remember the E. coli outbreaks with sprouting. People were buying seeds tainted with E. coli and salmonella. You won't experience this challenge as long as you buy high-quality microgreens. Don't skimp on your seed quality, more on seed selection in a bit. Spray bottle. A must-have for keeping your microgreens consistently moist during germination. Light. A sunny windowsill will do the trick for most varieties. Ambient light is typically good enough to grow your greens. If you're short on natural light, consider investing in a grow light. That's it. See, I told you it was simple. Now, let's talk about choosing the perfect microgreen variety to kickstart your indoor garden. Browsing seed stores can be overwhelming with so many varieties. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you. Start with easy, fast-growing varieties like broccoli, collards, pea shoots, and red radish. Broccoli, mild and sweet, perfect for salads and smoothies. Pea shoots, sweet and ready in 10 days. Red radish adds a peppery kick to dishes.
And now let me share with you a story that puts a smile on my face. When I very first started Amelia Island Microgreens, I had this customer come up to me who was 7 years old, and he had no interest in vegetables at all, none. Was not going to eat any microgreens either. He wanted to grow something. So he was like, you know what? I am going to start growing microgreens. He started growing his microgreens and really enjoyed that process. Here's the thing, within a couple weeks, he started to eat microgreens. Then he started to eat vegetables. He went from a kid who would not eat any vegetables to now eating microgreens, eating broccoli, eating all these things that he never would have before. His mom told me, thank you for getting my kid to eat something other than chicken nuggets and hamburgers. And that's so powerful, because if you have kids that are not interested in vegetables or want to do some kind of fun project, especially around the science STEM area, then microgreens are such a great way to get your kids engaged and be able to connect with them on a different level. Are you ready to become a microgreen thumb? I'm excited to say that using my 12 years of microgreen growing experience, I have created a free 10-part video series that will give you about 5 to 10 minutes of microgreen learning every day, so that you can stay up to date on the best ways to grow your microgreens, as well as some delicious recipes. So what are your biggest takeaways? Are you amazed at how microgreens have 10 to 100 times more sulforaphanes than your mature vegetables? Or maybe how quick they are to grow? Let me know in the comments below, and I'd love to hear what you have to say. I read all my comments, and I always enjoy hearing from everyone. So remember that secret tip I mentioned earlier? It is coming up in just a moment, so hang tight.
Let's dive into growing your microgreens. This is a quick overview. To dive deeper, text microgreens to 26786. First, prepare your trays. Add a 1 to 2 inch layer of growing medium, then sow your seeds. Sprinkle seeds evenly over the growing medium. Mist generously. Keep the soil consistently moist. Cover and germinate in a warm, dark spot. After day 3, light up your greens once they sprout. Move trays to a sunny spot or under a grow light. In a week or 2, harvest your vibrant microgreens.
So now that you're ready to start growing, there's just one more thing. We talked about the easy to grow microgreens. Now let's talk about the more challenging ones. Don't worry, I'll show you which ones to avoid if you're a beginner and which ones to turn to if you're feeling a little adventurous. Are you ready to become a microgreen thumb? I've created a free 10-part series to teach you how to go from microgreen beginner to microgreen grower, using my 12 years of microgreen growing experience. So take out your phone and you text microgreens to 26786. That's microgreens to 26786. I look forward to seeing you there. It's such an amazing video series, and I know that you're going to get a lot of value out of it. And if you want to dive even deeper and get started today, then check out the link to get your own microgreen kit delivered right to your door. It is so much fun. And as a bonus, you get to support a teen entrepreneur on a mission to empower people to gain even better health and food security. I really appreciate your purchase, and I look forward to helping you move into an even healthier future. So click on your screen right now, and I'll show you which microgreens are the more challenging ones and how to tackle them like a pro. So let's head over there, and I look forward to seeing you. Okay, so, Okay, so now I just want to share with you a couple comments that have come up. So I asked in the Facebook chat, what is your favorite microgreens? Let me know in the comment below. And I got back, my absolute favorite is Oriental mustard. And I totally agree with you, Christine. That one is really great. It's one of my favorites. And for those of you who have not tried Oriental mustard, it is the cousin to wasabi. And a fun fact about wasabi, most Americans have never had real wasabi. A lot of our wasabi in the store, it's actually horseradish that has natural flavoring and is dyed green, which is really strange when you think about that. Real wasabi is actually kind of a little bit sweet. It does have that horseradish type taste because it is in the same family as horseradish. So the microgreen seeds, we have wasabi, which is the real wasabi plant, and we have oriental mustard, which is almost identical to the wasabi plant. And so it is just such a delicious one. I love it on tacos or eggs in the morning because it just has that nice flavor to it. Another one of my personal favorites are peas. It's like going out into the garden and eating that fresh pea. It's so crunchy and it has this nice water taste to it that it's incredible. And then if you're someone who likes something that's kind of hidden and not really out there where you'll taste it, I suggest broccoli or collards or kale. Those are really great to add into a smoothie. That way you don't taste your microgreens at all. And for those picky eaters, it helps hide that taste. Though the cool thing about microgreens, when you grow your microgreens, especially kids, you'll start to notice you'll eat them more. I had one customer who's actually on my box right here. You'll see right here. He had no interest in microgreens, no interest in any vegetables. He just wanted to grow microgreens. He didn't want to eat them or anything like that. So his mom got a kit and they started growing microgreens. And guess what? Over the course of a little bit, he started eating microgreens. And this is a kid who did not eat any vegetables. Then he started to eat vegetables. By growing your own food, you have your kids have that feeling of, I did this. They have that ownership that makes them want to grow their own food. And it is just such an empowering experience. And I am so grateful. I've been able to start going to schools and giving my kits to the kids there so that they can to teach them how to grow their own microgreens so that they're learning in a fun, exciting way. They learn how plants grow and it's not from a textbook. As well, they're getting that ability to eat their own food that isn't a hamburger or a hot dog. It is such an incredible experience. And I am so grateful for Cam Knight because he has been donating to be able to give kids the ability to grow their own microgreens right in school. So that is just so incredible. And if you're interested in being one of those people who donates to be able to get kids to go and grow their own microgreens, you can go to ameliaislandmicrogreens.com, and in our About Us page, there is a place that you can donate. And I really appreciate all of your support. So now let's get back to some more microgreen videos. Let's see. Present, share screen. Okay. So now let me get out of here. And the next one should be here.
Achoo!
Oh, we haven't.
Protect yourself with a free flu shot.
Staring at the same old ingredients, wondering how you can make your meal. Ever find yourself staring at the same old ingredients, wondering how you can make your meals more exciting and nutritious? We've all been there, trying to strike that perfect balance between flavor and nutrition. But what if there was a way to boost both with something as simple as tiny greens? But before you start tossing them into every meal, there's one question that needs answering. Should these tiny greens be cooked or eaten raw? Let's explore those possibilities together. And at the end, I'll share a secret tip that'll elevate your microgreen cooking game to the next level. Hi, Green Thumbs. This is Connor with Amelia Island Microgreens, and I'm excited to be the go-to place for all things microgreen. We empower people to gain even better health and food security by growing their own food in just 7 days. Today, we're diving into the kitchen talk of the pros and the cons of cooking with microgreens. So let's get to it. All right, let's talk about one of the coolest things about microgreens, nutrient density. These little greens might be small, but they pack a serious punch when it comes to vitamins and minerals. Imagine this. You're getting up to 40 times more nutrients from microgreens than from their fully grown counterparts. That means more vitamins like vitamin C and E and more minerals like potassium and iron, all in just a tiny handful. And the best part, you're getting all this goodness when you eat them raw, preserving all those essential nutrients that your body craves. So not only do they taste amazing, but they're also a powerhouse for your health. Talk about getting more bang for your buck, right? But wait, there's more. According to Dr. Berg, microgreens aren't just nutrient packed. They also contain 10 to 100 times more of this amazing compound called sulforaphane, which is known for its anti-cancer properties. Now, I did a little math for you, and get this, eating just 1 ounce of broccoli microgreens can give you the same amount of sulforaphane as munching on 10 to 100 ounces of mature broccoli. That's like getting all the benefits of a huge pile of broccoli in just a tiny handful of microgreens. How awesome is that? Now, let's talk about enzymes. These little guys are super important, and raw microgreens are loaded with them. Enzymes are like the unsung heroes of digestion. They help break down the food we eat, making it easier for our bodies to absorb all those essential nutrients. When you eat microgreens raw, you're getting a fresh dose of these enzymes, which can really boost your digestive health. Think of enzymes as the key that unlocks the full nutritional potential of your food. And the best part, by eating raw microgreens, you're giving your body that extra support it needs to stay healthy and energized. It's like giving your digestive system a natural power-up. All right, let's get into one of my favorite things about microgreens, the flavor. These little greens may be tiny, but they bring some seriously fresh, vibrant flavors to the table. Whether you're tossing them into a salad, sprinkling them on top of your avocado toast, or adding them to your favorite smoothie, microgreens pack a punch that can elevate any dish. Imagine biting into a sandwich and getting that crisp, peppery kick from radish microgreens, or a burst of sweetness from pea shoots. It's like adding a gourmet twist to your meals without any extra effort, trust me. Once you start adding microgreens to your dishes, you'll wonder how you ever lived without them. Let me know in the comments. Have you tried cooking with microgreens before? What was your experience like? If you're ready to start growing your microgreens, check out my free 10-part series to bring out your microgreen fun. Go to Amelia Island Microgreens.com 101 or click the link in the description below. All right, let's dive into the pros and cons of cooking microgreens. My goal here is to break down why you might want to cook them or keep them raw. Because trust me, both options have their pros and cons. Whether you're looking to enhance the flavor, preserve those nutrients, or just try something new in the kitchen, I'm here to help you make the best choice for your next meal. Now, let's get real about the cons of cooking with microgreens, specifically nutrient loss. While cooking can enhance flavors, it can also cause some of those precious nutrients, especially vitamins, to degrade with heat. Vitamins like C and E are super sensitive, and when you cook your microgreens, you will be losing out on some of those health benefits. So if you're aiming to get the maximum nutritional punch, you might want to think twice before tossing them into the pan. Sometimes keeping it raw is the way to go to make sure you're getting all those vitamins your body loves. Now picture this. You're just about to finish up your meal and you reach for a handful of fresh, raw microgreens. You sprinkle them over your dish. Maybe it's a vibrant salad, a warm bowl of quinoa, or even a juicy burger. Instantly, those microgreens add a pop of color, a satisfying crunch, and most importantly, all those untouched, powerful nutrients like vitamin C and E. It's like giving your meal a fresh boost of health without sacrificing any of the goodness. So next time you're cooking, remember that sometimes keeping it raw isn't just easier. It's better for your body too. One of the things we love about microgreens is that fresh, crunchy bite they bring to a dish. But when you cook them, you will lose some of that vibrant crunch. Instead of that crisp texture, they can become a bit softer and wilted, which might not be what you're going for. If you're all about that crunch factor, you might want to keep those microgreens raw, or add them at the very last minute to keep some of that crispiness intact. Cooking microgreens can actually enhance the flavor of some microgreens. When you cook certain microgreens like mustard or arugula, their flavors can become even more concentrated and bold. It's like turning up the volume on your taste buds. Imagine adding microgreens to stir fry or soup. Suddenly you've got this deep, rich flavor that takes your dish to the next level. The heat can mellow out some of the sharpness while bringing out a new depth that you might not get when they're raw. So if you're looking to add an extra layer of flavor to your cooking, don't be afraid to throw some microgreens or microgreen salts into the mix and see how they transform your favorite recipes.
On Pinterest, you can plan the perfect fancy schmancy party or the perfect whatever party. No fancy, no schmancy, and you're all wearing tiny cowboy hats for some reason. Whatever floats your gravy boat.
Hi, this is Kathleen from Rockaway, and we're here at one of our latest projects. Welcome.
Let's talk versatility, because microgreens are basically the ultimate kitchen multitaskers. You can toss them into pretty much anything, and they'll level up your dish in no time. Think about it. Whether you're making a hearty soup, a sizzling stir fry, or even just scrambling some eggs, microgreens fit right in. They add that fresh, vibrant touch while blending perfectly with other ingredients. Want to add a pop of color and crunch to your pasta? Microgreens. Need to brighten up a savory omelet? Microgreens. The possibilities are endless. And the best part, they cook super fast, so you can just throw them in at the last minute and boom, instant upgrade. Microgreens make every dish better, and once you start using them, you'll never look back. Remember that secret tip I mentioned earlier? All right, here's the secret tip. If you want to get the most out of your microgreens, try lightly steaming them instead of fully cooking. This way, you retain most of the nutrients while still adding a bit of warmth to your dishes. Now that you know the pros and cons of cooking with microgreens, you're probably wondering how to grow your own microgreens from start to finish. Don't worry, I'll show you using my 12 years of growing experience. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on the next video where I'll guide you through the entire microgreen growing process from start to finish.
Want to dive even deeper into growing your microgreens? Join our free 10-part series where you will learn how to go from microgreen beginner to microgreen grower. I've been growing microgreens for 12 years, and I'm happy to share my 12 years of experience to help you start growing your microgreens today. So be sure to click the link below or head over to Amelia Island Microgreens.com/101 today. If you prefer to get them by text, then pull out your phone and text microgreens 26786. See you in my next video, and as always, stay awesome.
Okay, so how was that? Did you learn something new? Be sure to type yes in the chat if you want 40% more nutrient density in your microgreens. I know I do. I say yes. Let's do it. And so with that, be sure to text microgreens to 26786 so that you can start growing your own nutrient dense microgreens today, because it makes all the difference. And I look forward to hearing all your success stories, because I know it's made a huge difference in my health, and I know it can make a huge difference in yours. So as always, stay awesome.